because of my the background of pageantry that I have. But then that's the requirement of that particular field.
I didn't want to get into the controversial aspect about somebody being cast and you being cast.
No, I beefed up a bit, not a bit actually. I beefed up a lot for Maalik because I wanted to feel that power with my body also, you know.
And I'd say, in fact, Pulkit did not think of me while writing the script, unlike you, Raj.
All right, Maalik is the reinvention of Raj-Manushi Rao. In many ways, to me, it's a reinvention of the utterly glamorous Manushi Chhillar. And we're pleased to have on the show for the very first time, MC Square. Kaise aap?
मैं अच्छा हूँ सर, आप कैसे हैं? आप बताइए.
I'm well, I can't complain. When I see Raj, I'm always happy. And Manushi gets the award for the best dressed person of the day.
Thank you.
You know, those threads are really rocking the radio trail today. Lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely. You know, brother, I remember having this very fond conversation with you about Pulkit. It was a long time ago, you know, when Bose had happened. I want to refresh people's memories with it. Fine filmmaker. I mean, Bose deserved a lot more attention than it got.
Yeah,
but, you know, that's the nature of the beast, you know, with OTT. You never know what's going to get attention, what not. And I'm so glad that this filmmaker now gets this larger canvas and makes more of a heartland film. I think Pulkit is a good place to start.
Pulkit, yeah, I met him for the first time actually even way before Bose when he made his first feature. That time I met him and I always liked him. There was something about him which was very unique and special. Like and then of course we worked together on Bose and I had a great time working with him. Then he made Bhakshak and a couple of films and Bhakshak was of course very well celebrated.
Bhumi film, yeah.
Bhumi, yeah.
It just really moved me to tears.
Yeah, it was a very well made.
The orphanage, yeah.
Yeah. And then when Pulkit met me and something that he always thinks of me, that's what he tells me, that whenever he writes a script, he writes it thinking of me. Even Bhakshak, he wanted me to, it was like a male part, but then...
Hansal sir used to say that a lot. Off late I'm seeing other actors, but you know, we love Hansal sir.
Yeah. So when he met me with Maalik, I read the script and I absolutely loved it because it's such a real, like very unique, real story. You know, very rooted, grounded, but character is still very larger than life. There's a lot of swag, there's a lot of dialogue-bazi, and I love that. When the combination of realism with this dialogue-bazi meets, I totally love that. And as I said, I've always loved Pulkit. So that's the reason for me to say yes, and I'm so glad because he went all out. There was nothing he kept in his basket because he was playing front foot. Every ball he just wanted to hit 6. And he did that with this film.
You know, Manushi, what I love about Raj and you and your backgrounds is that you could easily blend into small town India as well as urban India, also because of the lives you've lived. You know, him moving from Delhi, you being part of the DRDO, and you know, your dad's job, and you know, so you understand the small town flavor.
Yeah.
So when as opposed to an urban city slicker actor who says, yeah, to a director, and then has to go and do a Wikipedia and a Google and do homework. When a director comes to you and says, you know, small town girl, Allahabad, Varanasi, whatever, you don't have to do that necessarily because you understand the small town ethos. Talk to me about that.
Well, I'd say that, I mean, because of the kind of journey that I've had, a lot of people, filmmakers, don't really imagine for me to naturally play something like this.
Because of the Miss World thing.
Because of my the background of pageantry that I have. But then that's the requirement of that particular field. As an actor, you kind of have to blend into whatever role that's given to you. And I'd say, in fact, Pulkit did not think of me while writing the script, unlike you, Raj. But I
didn't want to get into the controversial aspect about somebody being cast and you being cast, but you brought it up.
No.
Maybe he didn't think of you, but
no, he was not thinking of me as Maalik. Like, it's not like he was thinking of, oh, should I get? No, not. It was just, I was kidding. But I'd say that even I think for him to see me as Shalini, it was when I tested for Shalini, is when I think he also was quite confident about me playing this part, simply because I've not gotten such a role. So people have also not seen me do something like this. So I guess it's just an opportunity to explore a different character that, you know, you can also bring in front of people. For me, myself, as an actor, it was a challenge to explore. And keeping aside the nature of this character, yeah, she's a small town girl. She's very rooted, simple. But there's also a lot emotionally going on, and you know, the external aspects of it might change, where it might be an urban character going through something similar maybe, but I guess the bigger challenge here was for me personally to understand the emotional journey of that character and internally prepare, because the external prep takes a little bit of practice, but that still, I guess, like you said, I understand that. I have seen that to a certain extent. And that, of course, once you have costume, you know, you have your look, and then you slowly, once the internal aspect is sorted, then externally you're able to still figure and adapt to it.
तो ये गाना जिसमें आपने गाया है, ये सचिन जिगर ने कंपोज किया कि आपने खुद कंपोज किया है?
So इसमें बेसिकली आधा गाना आकाशा मैम ने गाया है और सचिन जिगर सर ने मतलब म्यूजिक इसका करा है और कंपोज भी करा आधा, बाकी जो मेरा पार्ट था वो मैंने वहीं कंपोज करा था, वहीं लिख के और वहीं रिकॉर्ड करा था बेसिकली.
क्योंकि सचिन जिगर, मेरा मानना है कि सचिन जिगर मेलोडी में बहुत खेलते हैं.
जी जी बिल्कुल.
और उनका मेलोडिक फ्रंट बहुत मजबूत है, बहुत मतलब उस पर ज्यादा ध्यान देते हैं. लेकिन आप जो करते हैं रिदम एंड पोएट्री बोलते हैं ना उसको,
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
तो दैट इज मोर अबाउट द ग्रूव.
हाँ जी, मोर अबाउट द ग्रूव. हाँ जी.
सो उसमें मेलोडी किंग्स के साथ काम करना और एक कॉमन ग्राउंड ढूंढना आसान हुआ कि वक्त लगा?
लाइक मेरे लिए थोड़ा सा आसान ही कह लो, कि वो नेचुरली आया तभी हुआ. मतलब वो इस तरीके से हुआ कि मैं रागनी सुनने का बहुत शौकीन हूँ, तो रागनियाँ जो हमारे यहाँ होती है वो मेलोडी की होती है. मतलब तो मैं रागनी सुनता था और रागनी गाता भी था मतलब पहले, तो उससे ही मतलब कहीं ना कहीं मैं मेलोडी में घुस गया. प्लस ये कैरेक्टर मतलब अपने आप मेरे को इस तरीके से मतलब चिल्ला चिल्ला के बोल रहा था कि आई एम लार्जर देन लाइफ, तो उसको अनाउंस करने के लिए ना, समझ रहे हो कि एक वैसा वो मतलब ग्राउली आवाज में वो चाहिए था कि उड़ा दे तीतर, तो मतलब वो समझ रहे हो, एक अनाउंस करना कि कोई आ रहा है, हट जाओ रास्ते से.
आपको मालूम है कि रैप का जब शुरुआत हुआ था अमेरिका के अंदर, जो वेस्ट कोस्ट वर्सेस ईस्ट कोस्ट वगैरह बोलते हैं, इट वाज एक्चुअली people commenting on social issues, जी. social mores, कि you know कि बच्चे कैसे बिगड़ रहे हैं, gang wars, you know कैसे गरीबों के साथ अत्याचार हो रहा है. It was never about girls and cars. था actually. तो उसके बाद वो सब आना शुरू हुआ. अगर आप अर्ली मूवमेंट को देखें, वो सोशल कमेंट्री था. तो मैं ये कह रहा हूँ अच्छी बात है. मैंने कहा एज अपोज्ड टू गर्ल्स एंड कार्स बहुत कुछ है दुनिया में, और एक मालिक या एक फिगर और एक पॉलिटिकल पर्सन या पावर या उस माहौल के बारे में लिखना और गाना इज अ गुड थिंग. आई रिस्पेक्ट दैट.
सो एक्चुअली मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर एक्चुअली होता क्या है कि जब कोई इंफीरियोरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है ना जिस किसी को भी, सो किसी को भी मतलब एक्चुअली हम कॉलोनाइजेशन में रहे हैं कहीं ना कहीं, तो हमारे वो डीएनए में इनबिल्ट है इंफीरियोरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स. तो जब वो होता है तो अंदर से हमारी ना एक हमेशा चाह होती है वो लार्जर देन लाइफ कैरेक्टर्स को पसंद करने की और उनके बारे में लिखने की. ये साइंस है मतलब इसके पीछे. तो कहीं ना कहीं जो ब्लैक पीपल है वो भी ओप्रेस्ड रहे हैं.
एब्सोल्युटली.
तो उनका वो जो लिखना होता था ना, वो गलत के लिए लिखना नहीं होता था, गन्स एंड कार्स के बारे में लिखना. उनका वो ड्रीम टाइप लिखना होता था कि मतलब मुझे वो लार्जर देन लाइफ कैरेक्टर लिखना है रैप में, कि हाँ मेरे पास गन्स है, मेरे पास कार्स है, मेरे ब्लिंग ब्लिंग और ये सब ना. वो इसलिए होता था कि वो एक कैरेक्टर माइंड में बनाते थे. वो ऐसा नहीं होता था कि वो नेगेटिव तरीके से लिख रहे हैं उस चीज को, समझ रहे हो. वो वैसा कैरेक्टर बनने की
आप तो फिलोसोफर और सोशल कमेंटेटर. क्या बात.
तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है वो गलत नहीं था, वो था बट वो गलत नहीं था. वो तरीका कुछ और था उनका, कुछ और कहने का, समझ रहे हो. सो वो गलत इंटरप्रेट कर लेते हैं कई लोग, बट एक्चुअली
किसी दिन किसी अच्छे बेवरेज के साथ बैठेंगे और लंबी बात होगी.
जी.
बट आई गेट योर पॉइंट, आई सी योर पॉइंट कि जो ऑप्रेस रहता है वो कभी-कभी आल्सो लाइक टू टॉक अबाउट गर्ल्स एंड कार्स दैट दे perhaps don't have as an oppressor. Actually. Point taken. What a lovely ensemble. I marvel at Swanand Kirkire. I mean, such a beautiful lyric writer. He's not written the lyrics in this actually. It's actually Amitabh Bhattacharya. Swanand has got a wonderful singing voice. I mean, who can forget the song in Masan? And let's hear it from you. His acting chops as you being an actor yourself.
बहुत मजेदार. He has worked with me in Kai Poche.
Yeah.
उन्होंने बहुत कमाल के बहुत ही खूबसूरत गाने लिखे थे हमारे लिए. मांझा being one of them, my favorite. मीठी बोलियां and all that, शुभारंभ. बट इसमें एज एन एक्टर वो काम करते आ रहे हैं. वो कभी भी एक्टर बनना नहीं चाहते थे. वो एक्सीडेंटल एक्टर बोलते हैं अपने आप को. पर इसमें मजा आया बिकॉज वो उनकी जो ट्रेनिंग रही है, जो उन्होंने जिसमें पले बड़े जिस माहौल में, वो तो उन्होंने देखा है. उन्होंने इन एक्टर्स को, इनका प्रोसेस, इनका काम करने का तरीका देखा है, तो उनको पता तो है ये दुनिया. तो उसी दुनिया से आते हैं वो, तो बहुत मजेदार था. He was very cooperative, very sweet, और बहुत कमाल का किरदार भी निभाया उन्होंने. हम जो इसमें of course there are dialogues which we improvise कि चबूतरा संभाल के and all. चबूतरा पकड़ लेते हैं. But he was too cool. He was a sport about it. कि हाँ करते हैं बिल्कुल क्यों नहीं.
And never a dull moment when Saurabh's around. Yeah,
Oh
Saurabh Shukla.
yeah. He is phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
What a lovely teddy bear. I love hugging him. Every time I'm with him, I'm just constantly hugging him. He's lovely. Dada is, is a legend in Bengal, the Tollygunj film industry. And I know, I bumped into him in Sun and Sand the other day. And he said, I'm spending more and more time in Bombay now because I really want to explore. He's been doing well in OTT.
Yeah.
And I think it's wonderful to see two actors of the caliber of you and Dada Prosenjit together. And it's always exciting to act with actors from various industries, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's phenomenal. I think a lot of like how we have, I don't know how he's maintaining this physique that he has, this energy that he has, which is very inspiring. And he's brought in so much to this character. There's this very natural swag he has in life, which he has brought in this character also that he's playing in Maalik. And there had to be a very strong personality, a strong character in front of Maalik. And Dada, Saurabh Shukla, sir, Saurabh Sachdeva, a lot of other actors also have really done a wonderful job with their acting chops in the film. And that's why, as you said, there are some really wonderful, phenomenal actors in the film, which makes it very unique and very special. It's not only about, Maalik should work. Maalik will work, but then everything has to work in the film.
Yeah, true.
And that's why I think the kudos to Pulkit that he's brought in all these really beautiful, wonderful actors in the film.
Manushi, I read a lot of crime fiction and real-life crime novellas. S. Hussain Zaid, who wrote Black Friday, I read a lot of his writing. Mm-hmm. And Hussain was telling me once that the wives and partners of mafia dons or people in power or who have gone up through the violent way are incredibly strong because they have dealt with a different level of trauma on a day-to-day basis. And it's almost the kind of trauma that an army officer's wife faces without actually being on the front. And that must have been interesting for you to explore as a character. I mean, being in love with a man whose life is pretty tumultuous.
Of course. Basically, you do seek a certain level of stability from a partner in your life. And but if your partner, especially the man, if they themselves are dealing with so much of chaos and here there's violence, it definitely has to change something internally because you have to play and you have to put an extra effort in bringing stability to that relationship. So it is challenging and to understand what must a female whose partner is such a big gangster and has this kind of an ambition, what he must be going through. Of course, there are a lot of people who have ambition and they need supportive partners. But here, there is a certain kind of ambition where, he could be, what if something happens to him? What if he does not know where to draw that line or what is that line for him? So you're constantly worrying, right? So it is quite complex and quite complicated what, a female like that must be going through.
Did you film in Allahabad?
No, we filmed in Uttar Pradesh for sure. But because the film is set in 1988.
Yeah, and it says Allahabad 1988.
Allahabad 1988. Yeah. So we shot in a lot of outskirts of Lucknow, Unnao, Kanpur, outskirts, villages mostly. Yeah.
I'm always fascinated by Allahabad. I remember going there because it was Mr. Bachchan's home turf.
City,
going outside boys' house school in Allahabad and saying, my God, this is where he studied. This, that.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a Sangam. And 80s UP was a totally different milieu, wasn't it? It was like the ganglands of Italy. So the story itself is quite fascinating in that aspect.
Yeah.
I got to ask you, have you become a gym rat? Have you started enjoying it? You really look like a mountain and Iron Man in Maalik.
No, I beefed up a bit, not a bit actually, I beefed up a lot for Maalik because I wanted to feel that power with my body also, because you need a certain kind of frame. And it's not about, we haven't shown it up in the film at all. There are no body shots as such, but it's for me. I wanted to look physically, I wanted to feel and look different. I enjoyed being, being this big guy for Maalik.
I really like, Manushi, the way you two guys look together on screen. It looks pretty picture perfect.
Thank
I've
you.
just seen the romantic song and it's just on
Namumkin, yeah.
Namumkin. It's a beautiful Sachin Jigar melody.
Yeah.
And you really look very wonderfully compatible on the screen. And working with Raj is always such a treat, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. I absolutely enjoyed working with him. He's so assured of what he brings to the table that, he's, apart from doing his job like a professional and being very, very good at it, he's someone who also adds value to his co-workers. And that's what I absolutely love and admire about him.
Maalik is going to be out in theatres, and it feels so good saying that with all the OTT obsession these days, on the 11th of July. The songs are terrific. Go and check out the tips page, and you'll see some great melodious numbers as well as MC Square's rapping. Raj-Manushi, I thank you for rolling by. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for
Bye.
having us.
94.3 Radio 1.